And so the group piled into their 3 cars. Rachel and Maddie had directed the convoy to the start, their trail, which was located right on the side of a winding main road.
It's always in the woods. It is always in the woods where sketchy stuff happens.
And Rachel and Maddie led them to the start of this trail, and they began walking through the forest.
We are reacting to She Ignored the Warning Siren. No idea what this is about, but Mr. Hands, yes. We all call him Mr. Hands because he does a lot of like hand motions. Go check him out. I think what is it, MrBallen? All right, let's go.
In 2017, a group of 7 friends were wandering through this forest in New Zealand trying to get to this secret swimming spot. And as they're walking along this dirt trail far away from the road and there's no one near them, they suddenly hear this high-pitched, shrill siren sound coming from somewhere off in the forest. This morning, the group had gotten up early because they wanted to get on the road as soon as possible to try to beat the holiday traffic that was sure to crop up that day on the way back to Auckland.
Okay.
February 6th is a big national holiday in New Zealand. It's called Waitangi Day.
Waitangi.
To commemorate the initial signing of
Waitangi
the
Day.
Treaty of Waitangi, which is considered to be the founding document of the country. But right as
Bro, I
want to
celebrate Waitangi Day.
Up their 3 cars and were getting ready to begin their 3-hour drive north to
Yeah.
Auckland, one of the friends, a 21-year-old named Rachel De Jong, suggested they take a quick
Marco probably follows her on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and all of our other social medias.
detour before they head back home. Rachel and the other women, so 5 of them, they climbed onto one of the rocks, and the 2 men who were part of this group climbed onto the other rock. And so they got up onto these rocks and they're looking around, taking in the sights, and then at 11:50 a.m., another siren blasts across the forest. It's the same sound.
Y'all better
as the
get
one
out
they
of
heard
there.
3 minutes earlier when they were on the dirt track. And so once again, all 7 of them are kind of looking at each other, wondering, what is this siren about?
So, New Zealand, right? They've got like some mountains and rocks. I'm going to make a prediction right here that it's falling rocks. I don't know. Could be wrong, but we'll see.
But after the 20 or 30 second long siren came to an end, they glanced around them and there was no sign of any danger. There was no sign of really anything happening at all. It was just this beautiful, peaceful seeming oasis. And so before long, they had forgotten about the siren.
Maybe a tidal wave.
Rachel had gotten out her camera and she was taking pictures, and others were taking pictures as well. And then 2 minutes later at 12 p.m.,
another
the siren
siren
sounded for a 3rd time. Now, at this point, the group has heard the siren 2 other times. And even though the sound of the siren was kind of jarring because it was so high-pitched and shrill and really cut into their ears, this time, because they've heard it 2 other times and nothing happened, they all pretty much immediately wrote it off.
Could you imagine this, like an ice cream helicopter coming in? Hey, yo, down below we have some ice cream for you. How to do this? No, it's crazy. All right, let's keep going.
Siren sounding for the 3rd time, and the group is not really paying attention. But when the siren finally stops this 3rd time, something very different began to happen, and the group immediately noticed it.
Rome. What does that look like? Wait, are those trees? Hold on. Whoa, that bass drop was epic. Oh my gosh.
When the 3rd siren came to a stop, the friends started to hear a new sound, and it was coming from the same direction the siren had been coming from, which in effect was upstream. Even though this river was basically dry, they could turn and look uphill.
The river was dry? I actually did not catch that earlier. Something bad's about to happen, man.
And they could clearly see where the river would go if it was full. And so the friends turn and look upstream, and they're listening to this really loud kind of smashing sound that's coming from that direction. And they're exchanging curious looks at each other, trying to figure out what that sound could be. And then all of a sudden, they see it.
They see it. They see it. Should have listened to them sirens, bro.
a white wall of water comes crashing around the corner and began.
Wait, is this actual footage? Wow, that's real footage. I mean, it's probably not when it happened, but that's still kind of cool.
Barreling straight down the riverbed towards them. By the time the friends had even processed what they were seeing, the water had reached the pool they were in, and it was flooding the pool so quickly they could literally see this huge pool rising. Its water levels were going up and up and up all around them. And so as the rocks they're standing on began to slowly submerge under all this rising water, the group collectively decided that this can't go on for very long. Whatever this is, it's gonna stop. So
they ignored the sirens. They ignored the sirens and the rocks that they're in. There's water flowing in. It's raising up like crazy. Yeah, it's okay.
just stay put, stay on these rocks, we're gonna be okay. However, within seconds, the rocks they were on were completely submerged, and the water was still tumbling down the hill towards their pool, and then spilling out over the other side down the other end of the riverbed. And they're thinking to themselves, if we don't get off these rocks soon, we're gonna get swept downstream with this water.
Yeah.
And so the two men who were on their own rock, they leapt to a rocky outcropping that was slightly higher up and was connected back up to the forest. And so this rocky outcropping represented safety. And so once they were up there, they turned around and they yelled to the 5 women still stranded on their rock to try to swim over to them, and the guys would grab them and pull them to safety. But by this point, the girls are looking around, the water's up to their knees, and it's rushing past them. They can barely keep their balance. They know if they attempt to swim in this water, they're gonna immediately be taken downstream with it. And so the group very quickly decides their only choice is for the women to literally...
Wow, they actually took a photo. Wow, that's crazy. Man.
So Rachel DeJong, she was the first one to try this. She leaps off the rock, she grabs the guy's arms, and she gets pulled to safety. And then she turns around, and she and the other 2 men continue to get the women to jump off the rock to them. And at first, it's going fairly well until they get down to the second to last woman who leaps. She grabs one of the guy's arms, and then both of them lose their footing, and the guy and the woman, they both get swept away downstream. They're gone. Rachel stays calm.
It was just like, they lose footing, they fall off the rock, they're gone.
And she moves to the position where the guy had been who just got swept away, and she takes out her GoPro camera selfie stick and she extends it out to the last woman who's out on the rock. Her name is Alice.
Why would you take out your selfie stick?
But first, let me take a selfie.
Let's keep going.
Rachel stays calm, and she moves to the position where the guy had been who just got swept away, and she takes out her GoPro camera selfie stick and she extends it out to the last woman who's out on the rock. Her name is Alice. And she tells Alice, jump and grab the selfie stick. And
bro, I just straight up look like a fool. No. I'm looking like a fool right now, man. I thought these chicks were trying to get a selfie. But instead, they were just going to use the selfie stick to try to make them grab it. All I have to say, that thing better be a nice selfie stick. Not one of those cheap $20 ones, but that thing better be like $50, $70, $100 plus selfie stick, man, because...
So Alice, who's almost completely submerged in water now, makes this frantic jump to grab onto the selfie stick. She grabs it for a second, but then loses her grip and she begins being swept away. And Rachel, who at this point was completely safe, immediately jumped into the rapids after Alice. She grabbed Alice, she attempted to turn around and grab the rock to stop them, but she couldn't get a grip. And she and Alice were also swept downstream.
Dang, man.
2 weeks before Rachel, Maddie, Alice, and the others had gone to this secret swimming spot, a warning sign, like a physical warning sign that warned people not to go near this river, don't go near this pool, was stolen. And that warning sign was normally placed at the very beginning of that unofficial dirt track.
Why do people got to do that, man? Why do people have to do that?
That the 7 friends took to get to the pool. Meaning, when the 7 friends got out of their cars and began hiking into the forest to go to this pool, they would not have understood the danger of where they were going. Now, it is true that Rachel and Maddie had previously discovered this swim spot several months earlier. However, it seems like they had just learned that this swim spot existed and how to get to it. It did not seem like they had literally walked this trail and gotten to the pool, and so very likely they would not have known about the dangers this place posed. The pool.
Okay, so that is understandable, but I swear I always pause on like the funniest stills of him. But still, the sirens, three sirens should be like a giveaway that something's going on, you know?
Pool of water they were swimming in was not actually dangerous itself. It was only dangerous because the pool was located in the middle of a spill zone. About 650 feet upstream of the pool they were swimming in is a dam, and 3 to 4 times a day, they open their gates, releasing 20,000 gallons of water per second down this mostly dry riverbed, and the water comes careening across that pool all the way to the bottom. The gates stay open for about 15 minutes, and the only reason this is done is for the spectacle of it. It's to show tourists what this riverbed looked like before the dam was built. And what this riverbed looked like before the dam was built was a raging rapid. On February 6th, 2017,
Wow.
The dam was set to spill at 12 p.m. So those sirens the friends heard at 11:55, 11:58, and then 12 were.
Wait, what were the times?
Dam was set to spill at 12 p.m. So those sirens the
12,
friends heard at
12,
11:55,
11:55.
11:58, and
Okay.
then 12 were.
So 3-ish minutes apart. It's still kind of crazy to me that they wouldn't know about that. That the dam exists and that it gets released.
Were all warnings that a spill
Well, I just hope they're okay. You know, I just hope they're okay.
was about to occur. But of course, the 7 friends had no idea. After the 12 p.m. spill had finally ended, the 3 friends who had made it to the rocky outcropping and had not been swept away by the current went looking for the 4 other friends who had been swept away, and they would find them. 3 had miraculously survived,
Oh no.
but 1 had not. The sole fatality was 21-year-old Rachel DeJong, whose idea it was
Dang,
to come
bro.
and swim at this spot in the first place.
Wow.
Rachel also was the woman who had left safety and jumped back into the rapids to attempt to save her friend Alice. Today,
Wow.
there are many more warning signs and fences that have been put up around the Waikato River to prevent.
You hate
people
to
from
hear
getting
that,
too
man.
close,
You
because
hate
the
to
dam
hear it.
Still, despite the fatality, spills several times a day. However, despite all these precautions and all the notoriety around Rachel's death, people still today sneak in and go swimming in that secret pool.
Yeah, it does. But again, what they just said, people still do it. But I know it's sad, dude. She did try to go save them, Moonlight, so you gotta give her that.
So that's going to do it. If you got
That's sad though, man. That's so sad. Jeez. That's crazy. So that's it. That's the story. You know, if they all survived, it would have been better, obviously. Because the part of the selfie stick is really what got me. I was like, are they really gonna take pictures? But they were just using it to try to save. They were using it to save. Now I feel kind of awful, low key. But R.I.P. Rachel, and hopefully her family and stuff, like, they're okay. But still. But yeah, thanks for sticking around and watching it. Okay.